Saint is a virtuous individual, alive or dead, in Christianity. It is a person who has been rescued. The term holy in French is saint. The title of saint is reserved by several churches for all those who have perished devoted to their Christian beliefs. What does it take to become a saint? In this story of, it's been 140 years since this Catholic nun died, but her body is said to be mysteriously unchanged. Before we dig down deep, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to get updated whenever a new video is published. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Why is Marie Bernadette Soubirous? She is called Saint Bernadette. She was born on January 7, 1844 in Lourdes, France. She was the firstborn child of 9 children to underprivileged parents. On January 9, she had been baptised at St. Pierre's, the village parish church. Bernadette had cholera as a child and suffered from terrible asthma. Regrettably, she spent the rest of her life in terrible health. Bernadette, 14 years old, was assigned to collect firewood alongside her young sister as well as a friend on Thursday, the 11th of February 1858, when she saw a beautiful woman over a flower bed in a grotto known Massabielle, Torta di Massabiella. The woman, dressed in blue and white, gazed at Bernadette, and she made the cross sign with a pearl and golden rosary. Bernadette got down on all fours and prayed through her own rosary. Bernadette later characterised the figure as "uo petito damezello," which means a petite young woman. Bernadette realised that she saw it was true, even though her sister and other companions swore they couldn't see anything. Bernadette, Marie, her younger sibling, and other girls went to the grotto after 3 days, where Bernadette knelt again and said that she could see a quero again. She went into a reverie, so one of the girls held holy water there at the shrine, while another flung a shattered rock. The vision vanished at this point. The vision urged Bernadette to come back to the grotto day after day for a fortnight on February 18, she recalled. Bernadette had seen the Virgin Mary every time she went, and also the interval of everyday visions got known as La Quinzaine Sacrée, or Holy Fortnight. Bernadette's family felt ashamed when she started going to the grotto and desperately tried to dissuade her. Bernadette claimed to have received a life-changing revelation on February 25. As a gesture of atonement, the vision instructed her to sip from the spring, bathe in it, and consume the plants that flourish there. The filthy waters of the grotto had already been cleansed the very next day, and fresh, pure water was flowing. On March 2, the 13th day of the premonitions, Bernadette told her parents that the lady said a church should have been built and a parade formed. On March 25, Bernadette appeared to have had her 17th vision, which lasted more than an hour. Bernadette stated she requested the woman her name, yet all she got was a smile in response. Bernadette inquired 3 more times, and the woman eventually said that she was the Immaculate Conception. Bernadette's account caused a rift in her community, even though so many people were convinced that she had seen the Holy Virgin. Many people felt she was speaking the truth, whereas others thought she was insane and urged her to be committed to a mental institution. Bernadette's visions were interpreted as something of a sign that she ought to pray for atonement. Church officials from the French Republic interrogated the girl intensively, and by 1862 they had concluded that she was telling the truth. The Lourdes Medical Bureau had confirmed 69 miracles since Bernadette initially caused the spring to generate safe water. None of them could understand the miracles after seeing what the church stated were very rigorous science and clinical exams. The Lourdes Commission tested the waters, which initially studied Bernadette, but only found it to have high mineral concentration. Bernadette felt that belief and prayer were the keys to healing the ill. Bernadette requested that a chapel be built at the location of her revelations. The sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes has become one of the world's most important Catholic pilgrimage spots. Several chapels and churches had sprung up around that one, such as the Basilica of St. Pius X, which could also hold about 25,000 people, and was established by future Pope John XXIII when he was still the papal nuncio of France. Bernadette determined she didn't enjoy her spotlight after the miraculous healings and constructions, and proceeded to the Sisters of Charity of Nevers Hospice Institution. She was taught to write and read properly. Her condition was too weak for her to think about joining the Carmelites. Bernadette assumed the spiritual form of a postulant on July 29, 1866. then rejoined the Sisters of Charity at its Nevers mother house. Sister Marie Bernadette Soubirous became their Mistress of Novices, and that's when she was given the title Marie Bernard by the Mother Superior at the point, in memory of her grandma. Bernadette worked as something of a clinic attendant and eventually as a sacristan for the remainder of her life. Her modesty and willingness to sacrifice were praised by many. So she was beloved by the Blessed Mother. A convent once questioned if she would have pride challenges. She swiftly responded, "How can she, when she was chosen by the Blessed Virgin solely because she was the most stupid?" She had been unable to participate in convent life after being stricken with tuberculosis of the bone in her right knee. She perished on April 16, 1879, just at the age of 35, during saying the Holy Rosary in the St. Croix Holy Cross Infirmary of the convent of St. Gildard. Bernadette was in excruciating pain on her deathbed, yet she declared, "All this is excellent from heaven," in accordance with the Virgin Mary's warning of penance, penance, penance. Bernadette said her final words, "Please pray for me, Blessed Mary, Mother of God, a poor sinner, a poor sinner." The Sisters of St. Gildard petitioned the local authorities for approval to lay Bernadette's body in a monast chapel devoted to St. Joseph inside the convent's limits, with the Bishop of Nevers backing. On April 25, 1879, consent was given, and on April 30, the district prefect expressed his acceptance of the burial location selection. Bernadette's casket was carried to the vault of St. Joseph's Chapel on May 30, 1879, and a modest ceremony took place to honour the occasion. By September 22, 3 decades later, 2 medical professionals and a communal sister unearthed her remains. They said that the crucifix and rosary she was carrying had rusted, but that her body was unaffected. One of the miracles mentioned in the justification of her canonisation was her incorruptibility. Bernadette's remains were cleansed and redressed before interred in a new double casket. On April 3, 1919, the church retrieved her remains once more, and the physician who inspected her declared that the body appeared to be desiccated, with spots of mildew and a thick layer of salt that seems to be calcium salts. The skin has vanished in certain areas, although it is still visible on the majority of the body. Bernadette's remains were retrieved once more in 1925. This time, relics were taken to Rome, and also an outline of her face was formed, and a wax mask was created to be worn on her body. Her handprints were being used to offer her body, which has been kept in a golden and crystal casket in the chapel of St. Bernadette in the Mother House of Nevers. There in the main series of the Bulletin d'Association Médicale de Notre-Dame de Lourdes, printed in 1928. Doctors Who Come wrote about Bernadette's exhumation, saying he would have really liked to access the left side of the chest area to take the ribs as relics, and afterwards start by removing the heart, which he is sure must really have withstood. However, because the trunk was stabilised by the left arm, getting towards the heart without causing too much apparent damage would indeed be difficult. The bishop did not persist, and even the Mother Superior, having demonstrated a willingness for the saint's soul to be left untouched with the rest of her body, and also the Monsignor. He abandoned the notion of exposing the left side of the thorax and eliminated the right and left ribs, which had been easier to reach. The condition of flawless preservation of the bones and fibrous structures of the musculature still supple and firm, the tendons and ligaments and the skin, and most all the utterly unforeseen condition of the liver after 46 years hit the medical practitioner throughout this examination. One might think that somehow this organ, which really is soft and crumbly, would have dissolved quickly or solidified to a powdery texture. When it was sliced, however, it was soft, and irregularity was virtually usual. He informed people attending there, noting that it did not appear to be a natural occurrence. Saint Bernadette is frequently shown praying with the Rosary or pleading with the Virgin Mary. She was made a saint in 1925 and canonised in December 1933 by Pope Pius XI. Saint Bernadette is indeed the patron saint of sickness, poverty, shepherds, shepherdesses, and the town of Lourdes in France. And that is all for today's video. Have you heard about Saint Bernadette before? Other than canonising the remains, are there any other requirements to be a saint? What can you say about this story? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Before leaving, make sure to leave this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to get updated on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.